Hello, everybody. Well, it's Friday, which means on my weight loss challenge, it's weigh-in day. And obviously, I made the confession to a week ago today. My mood really plummeted and headed south. And I had a really difficult weekend, and I struggled to battle against the comfort eating. And although I was comfort eating, I did manage to control it, so I wasn't as bad as I have been. I did manage to rein it in, um, but it's been very difficult to remain sort of motivated. I've been compliant on, my healthy eating for the rest of the week, but my sleep's been disturbed because of my low mood, and I haven't been drinking as much water as I should, and certainly haven't done any real sort of exercise as such. So the result being, I got on the scales this morning, and yeah, I didn't lose anything. On the positive side, obviously, I didn't gain anything either, so I've stayed the same. So it's 23 stone 13, and so yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself, and I should have had more self-discipline and reined that in as soon as it started. But having had time and taken the day to reflect, which is why I'm doing this video now, because this morning I was pretty upset. I'm fed up. But having taken a day to reflect, look, it happened. At least I managed to control the comfort eating, and it didn't get out of hand as badly as it has in the past. And the result being I didn't gain, but I didn't lose. So at least I managed to stay the same and maintain the good work that I had done. And now it's about reapplying myself and getting back to it. So I've made sure I've drunk plenty of water today. I'm planning on an early night. My mood has lifted somewhat, so hopefully my sleep will improve. And all these things are important to weight loss. It's not just about calorie intake; it's about remaining hydrated, exercise, of course, and and good rest, and making sure that you're completing your sleep cycles, and so that your body can regenerate and refresh itself. And so, yeah, it was a little disappointing when the scales said no, but having taken the day to reflect, I didn't gain. I maintained the 2 weeks good work that I'd done, which means that overall I've got better at managing the comfort eating, although it did get away from me a little bit. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. So I take that as the bonus for this week and use that as a motivator to kickstart. Now, I've raised about £380 so far. A couple of people have donated directly to the Walnut Tree. So most people are doing the GoFundMe page, but it doesn't matter because we're keeping a tally. So it's 380, which is great. But obviously, I have a target of £5,000. The Walnut Tree has had no funding all through 2020 because of COVID. It looks like we won't really get any fundraising done through 2021. So we really are in real need of, some financial input. And so, fundraising is all important. What we can do, we need to capitalise on. So I really need to hit that £5,000 target. This isn't easy, this weight loss challenge, which is why I chose it. Living with my PTSD, and obviously the depression side of that. The depression symptoms mean that I do binge eat when under stress, and my mood's low. So I'm really fighting here. This isn't just a matter of I put on a few pounds over Christmas and I'm shedding them. It's a real battle. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just a diet to lose a few pounds. This is about creating a healthier lifestyle long term. I cannot afford to continue the way that I'm going and not addressing this part of my mental health. And this is what people need to understand. Mental health is physical health as well. This is my mental health. It's the symptoms of my depression impacting on my physical health. And so, I have had a stroke. I have had, a heart attack, and it's all down to this excessive weight gain. There's no getting around that, and that is partly my own doing for ignoring it and allowing myself not to push back against the depression symptoms and fight back and say, no, I'm going to take control. I'm not going to do this, and I need to have a healthier lifestyle. So, it is a good example. Often people talk about mental health and physical health in two different spheres, like they're not related at all. And believe you me, they are. How people can't get it into their heads that, mental health here in the brain controls your entire body, everything physical. So it needs to be running really, really well to keep you physically well. And so, there are going to be knock-on effects from mental health and your physical health. They are inexplicably interlinked, and people need to realise that. And that also means that the NHS need to stop this running of two trusts nonsense, where they have a physical health trust and a mental health trust. They need to bring it together, one, to help end the stigma, and two, to save money. You would not believe the amount of people we see come through. We assess them, and they're having assessments for heart problems and this, that, and the other. And actually, a lot of it is down to things like anxiety, and their heart specialists and all the rest of it can't find a physical reason for these, symptoms. And of course, it's because of the mental health. So it's actually costing the NHS huge amounts of money, because physical health does not talk to mental health, and it just means that people keep missing, and it's taking up time and appointments, and unnecessary money is being spent. So, it's a big push. It's about time people realise that, mental health, physical health, we are linked. People have talked about mental health a lot through COVID. Partly, I think that's because it's been a little bit trendy to talk about mental health, and some people have used that as an excuse not to abide by government rules. Some people can't because of their mental health, and that is real. And those people know who they are, and should have certification from their clinicians. But some people have tried to use mental health to push the boundary, and we need to make sure that we stand up and say, no, that's not what it's all about, and it's not right to do so. Mental health is real. It's not just something that happens in your head. It manifests in the body as well, and it can affect your physical health as well as your mental health. And so we need to take really good care of ourselves, and that's why I'm doing these videos. It's why I'm doing the weight loss challenge. Doing this would have been hard enough. Battling my own symptoms and losing weight would have been hard enough without putting the added pressure on myself of doing it very publicly. But I passionately believe about leading by example when it comes to recovery from mental health. I'm happy to talk about the times when I was really unwell and how I got myself to a much better place. And I'm, now really talking more about recovery, because that's where I am right now. And I want to help and inspire others who are still coming through that treatment phase, or those that have just reached the recovery phase, to say that this continues, this journey with your mental health and all the rest of it. But, it's okay. It's about creating a lifestyle. And so I'm trying to lead by example and raise awareness of, one, the connection between mental and physical health, and two, the impact on services, because we continue to run two different trusts, one around physical health, one around mental health, and that nonsense has got to stop. It's got to stop to end stigma, and it's got to stop to save the NHS vast amounts of money. But I'm just one guy. I'm a military veteran who studied intensively around mental health, who has written a mental health treatment program, who now runs a mental health organisation. Believe you me, there's people out there that don't like that. Particularly psychiatrists, funnily enough, have a real issue with it. They seem to think that they're the experts and nobody else can tell them anything, and nobody should be listening to people like myself with lived experience about changing the way mental health is done, because they're still old school. They're still trying to hang on to the last little bits of power, but they will lose, because those people don't do it for the right reasons. Right will win out in the end, and people like myself with lived experience who are coming through stronger and stronger, and there's more of us, as time goes on, and people find out about recovery and are getting better treatments. They will be able to claim that ground back from these clinicians. There's no love lost. I'm not trying to tarnish all mental health clinicians with a negative brush, because it's not true. There's some really great ones out there, but there's also some bad apples. part of the reason I suffer migraines now is because psychiatrists pushed some of my medication so high, and that medication was really meant for things like epilepsy and all the rest of it. It is sanctioned for use with mental health, but it certainly was extremely high, and that was just their answer. No one wanted you to try and put the time and effort and help you and treat you and recover. It was just a chemical cosh to shut you up. So I know there's some bad apples out there in mental health, and I know they're trying to maintain the status quo because the way things are suits them. They draw a very large salary and do very little. Well, that's just not good enough for people like myself, and I represent the people in care at the Walnut Tree, and I want them to have the very, very best care. So I'm doing this very publicly. It has put added pressure, obviously, onto my weight loss, but it's important that people hear the journey and understand the struggles, But it's not about a goal. It's not about an end goal. I'm not going to suddenly, shed a few stone and be, miraculously ecstatic every day of the week, and my mental health will no longer bother me. And that's not a reality, But it's just about being able to enjoy the journey. My life is a journey of discovery and adventure, and I want to be able to enjoy that and not lose out time because I'm ill at home with my mental health. So, I treat my recovery in very much the same way. It's a journey. There's ups and downs. You can't go on an adventure without crossing some seas and climbing some mountains, and mental health is a bit the same. So I put one foot in front of the other every single moment of every single day and take what comes along. My daughter has just popped in the background. Lily, come and say hello. No, she's gone shy. Kids, you gotta love them. But yeah, so it's about that journey and that adventure and taking that on and pushing the boundaries and dealing with things as they come up. And I never have this problem when I film at the office. This home working thing is a whole new experience. I now feel like some of those people that you see on the BBC that are now doing a broadcast and their kids burst in and take over. But never mind. There we go. It's the joys of working from home, and it's all about keeping it real. So please, if you hadn't had a chance to sponsor me, please do so. I will post the links. You can either donate via the website or donate via the Just Giving page. Give us a boost. Let's raise some much needed money so that we can continue to help others to discover recovery, understand about how their mental health is entwined with their physical health, and really start raising that awareness and give us the money to really drive forward change. And so your support is greatly appreciated, and I look forward to coming back to you next week and telling you that actually I've shed a few more pounds, and so I will do my best. Till then, take care. Bye bye.